Want to be before you long, y'all. I say that, and then I somehow end up being here, y'all. So, as you guys know, this is Netflix. This is One Piece live action Netflix. They did it right, you guys, and I'm happy that they did, y'all. This is season 2, episode 6, you guys. It was about Nami and Vivi. I liked it, y'all. So let's talk about it, shall we? While I pull out my notes, I hope all is well with you, y'all. Not gonna be before y'all, so let me just jump right into it, y'all. So, y'all, the episode begins with Nami, you guys. Well, not begins with Nami per se, but y'all, I go scene by scene. So let's start with Nami, y'all. Nami's sudden illness becomes a central crisis driving the crew's action. After collapsing on the ship, the Shaw House rushed her to the nearest island, Drum Kingdom, to find medical help. Her condition is severe enough that the crew risk everything to save her. This moment highlights how important Nami is to the crew, not just as a navigator, but a friend that refuses to be abandoned, you guys. So basically, y'all, Nami is sick, and they bring her there, y'all. And when we jump to the scene, she's still sick, and she actually does agree to be on Luffy's back while he climbs up. They do get Nami some help. And I do like the fact that the doctor was just looking at Nami and was just like, girl, you got bit by something that's a stink. Were you on a prehistoric island? She's like, oh, I'm glad you asked. I was on a prehistoric island. She's like, oh, don't go there again. I was like, right, I feel it. Now, y'all, we got Luffy. Luffy shows one of his most compassionate moments here. Despite freezing temperature and brutal condition, he carries Nami up the snow-covered mountains to reach the doctor. Even when badly injured and frostbite, Luffy refuses to get up. His determination reflects the core of his character. He will endure anything to protect his crew, y'all. So we have Luffy. Luffy does agree to go stop for Nami, and then so when they're at the point where they're at the entrance to the Drum Kingdom, Luffy's about to fight, and Vivi's looking at him like, "You're the captain. Think, calm down, calm down, relax." And I'm glad there are people there to let him know that he does need to calm down and does need to relax. He does end up dragging Nami up there, which I was kind of like, how are they doing this? Just no equipment, just hopes and prayers and dreams. But I will say, again, I was thinking, like, is he able to stretch himself? Because I'd have stretched myself. I'd have just lassoed my hand and threw it up there and hoped for the best and just pulled myself up. But his stretching, I guess he wasn't frozen. I guess the ice doesn't affect him in this capacity because when Sanji fell, he stretched that neck back, grabbed him, and tossed him back up there. And I was like, I know that's why. Why didn't you do that from the beginning? Luffy, you could have did that for, like I said, all like that whole scene could have been cut in half. Y'all, now we have Sanji, y'all. Sanji climbs the mountain alongside Luffy while carrying supplies and helping to support Nami. Like Luffy, he suffers severe frostbite and exhaustion. This moment reinforces Sanji's loyalty and endurance. Even though he often plays a role to crew's cloak and comic relief, he provides that he will risk his life for his friends. So y'all, we actually get the both of them, Sanji and Luffy. They climb, they get him up there. We see Luffy and Sanji, they're all bandaged up. They were able to get healed. And they are looking like they're doing better, but they were on their way on home to be with the Lord, which I truly appreciate that. But I do enjoy Sanji's performance because when we get Nami waking up, Sanji is there, let him know, you've been out for 4 days, dear. And he goes outside to smoke a cigarette because it's a lot to handle. When your best friend, you don't think she's waking up because she's been out for 4 days. Next, y'all, we have Tony Chopper. This arc introduces Tony Chopper, a reindeer who ate them. I just remember. Human fruit. Because of this fruit, Chopper can speak, think, and act like a human. At first, Chopper is shy, suspicious of humans, but he ultimately rescues the nearly frozen Luffy and Sanji and helps treat their injuries. Chopper serves as assistants to Dr. Hooray, and this moment begins his connection with the Straw Hats. Dr. Kureha actually ends up quizzing him, like asking him about Nami's stuff and like, what does this mean? The antibodies are working, and what does that mean? So you can tell that he actually eventually wants to be a doctor like her. My thing is this, y'all. Here I go. Y'all in this fruit. Human fruit, really? So, what would if a human ate the human fruit? What do you think would happen? Would you have been extra human? Would you have? I feel like you become an X-Men at that point. If you are a human and you eat the human fruit, you have to become an X-Men at that point. You have to be a mutant at that point. You have to. Or here's another theory that the human fruit can only be searched out by animals. Because what would a human need the human fruit for? Think about that, y'all. What would a human do with the human fruit? I mean, I feel like that would just turn you to an X-Men or a mutant. I feel like that's what it would do, but I feel like that's something that only animals or inanimate objects would get. But still, y'all, who is growing this fruit? Like, fruit, who? Who sat down? What sorceress, witch, or warlock sat down and was like, you know what? I want to stretch. Big go outside and stretch. And you know, hold on, give me a second. And it just started like, what? Like, babe, why are you all rubbery? I wanted to stretch. Now, y'all, be this fruit. You know about me with the fruit. Next, we have Dr. Kureha is the only remaining doctor on Drum Island. Despite her harsh personality, she is extremely skilled and quickly treats Nami's illness as well as Luffy and Sanji's injuries. Kureha represents the resilience of the Dragon people year after oppression under the former king. With her, you guys, I do like her. A lot of people say she's a witch. She flies around on a broom, y'all, but she's like 1970s. Stevie Nicks when she first came out. Stevie Nicks. Pink when she gets older. I liked her. I liked the fact that she knew her medicine. She knew all what was going up. I was like, this is... You can tell she went to their version of medical school or got medical training to do what she does best because she knew exactly what she's doing. But back in those times, y'all, especially the world that Oda set this into, y'all, a lot of what y'all would call witches were just the doctors of that time that knew how to heal people based off of herbs and spices and knew how to make concoctions to help people out. Now we have Dalton, you guys. Dalton, a former royal guard of the Drum Kingdom, who now helps lead the island's citizens after King Warpole fled. Dalton works to protect the people and restore stability after the chaos caused by the pirates and the corrupt monarchy. That pirate was Blackbeard. I love Blackbeard. I love the fact that Oda put the black... Because you always have to put... If you're doing a show about pirates, you guys, you have to put Blackbeard and the Jolly Roger into the show. It ain't got a choice. And they have to go into the show. Because he's the pirate. Blackbeard is the pirate. He becomes one of the first allies of the Straw Hats meets in the Drum Island. He actually apologizes to Prince Vivi. King Warpole. Now, King Warpole is the former ruler of the Drum Kingdom. Instead of protecting his country during a pirate attack led by Blackbeard, aka Marshall D. Teach, he fled the island almost along with most of the doctors. Later, he receives the Munch fruit, which allows him to eat almost anything and fuse objects together. This power symbolizes his greed and selfish behavior. Y'all would give a fat person Munch fruit. Y'all going to hell. I would go to hell for that one. I would go to hell for that. Now, God go look at him and be like, so you're giving obese people Munch fruit, giving them the ability to eat whatever they want. Think I even peeped that now, did you? Yes, where you go for the rest of eternity. But no, y'all, the fact that he didn't try to protect, he just kind of like, you know what? I'm going to let y'all handle that. It just laugh. What type of king is that? I do like this, the scene, you guys, where he slapped the dog mess out of Vivi. That couldn't have been my child. Let me have found out that he did that as her father. I'm going to have to beat up. You think that metal jaw was something? He'd have had a metal face. You're not going to touch my child and thinking that I'm not just going to J you out. No. And then you are a coward on top of that. Like, you don't even defend your kingdom. I'm so glad that he got banished, but I guess he got money because he's been financially able to support the Baroque Works, and they want to give him back his kingdom. If I was the Drum Island Kingdom and he came back, I'd have packed up everything and said, y'all, we out. I'd have just been bring the boats. Come on, Grandma. Come on, Grandma. Get the bags. Next. We out, because I'm not about to sit up here and listen to him. No. Then we got Blackbeard. Although he's not pure, Blackbeard, blah, 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 drew away. I'm not going to talk about that. Princess Vita, y'all. We learned about the political tension between her kingdom, Alabasta, and Drum Kingdom. Her father, King Nefertiri Cobra, has previously argued with Warpaw during the Reverie, a global meeting of the world's rulers. This detailed expand the political world of the series, reminding viewers that Vivi's mission to save Alabaster's true going. Like I said, y'all, once again, if that was my child that he slapped, I would have had to dog walk him. Don't put your hands on my child and thinking that you're just going to get away with it. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. And I like the fact that he went back and forth and told him, you're not a good king, you're a coward, and nobody should be following you. And they were right, because the moment somebody tried to attack, he didn't fight. He just dipped. He just dipped. Now we got Smoker, you guys. Smoker continues to pursue Baroque work. He ends up taking out Miss Thursday and begins uncovering more Baroque work operations. I like Miss Thursday and her baseball and her glove. I like this character design. It was nice. I wish we could have got more, y'all. Y'all just introducing them and taking them out. I know we have a limited time. This is why I said there needs to be 12 to 16 episodes so we can get more of these people. But Smoker did what he did. And then Tashigi captures Mr. 11. And her actions demonstrate her justice and her growing role as Smoker's capable partner, y'all. But that was One Piece live action, y'all. Season 2, episode 6, y'all. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Y'all, me and this fruit gonna battle without. But I'ma probably do I'm probably gonna talk about the fruit, y'all, on social media more, because we need to get to the bottom of all this fruit, y'all. But make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, come back. If there are no political voices, there's nothing you can do about that. Bye.